Okay. Amortization. First thing you want to do, open the task guide. It's going to tell you exactly what to do. Click the next button. You have decided to purchase a car, click the next button. Calculate the payment amount for the loan in cell C15. Okay. You want to get the loan amount, use the PMT function. Double click your rate, interest rate. That MPER thing, term. PV, principal value, loan amount. The problem here, though, is it's not $1,000 a month. Why? Because you want your interest rate to be divided by 12. You want a payment. The payment is every month, divided by 12. C13 divided by 12. Boom. Calculate in cell D20 the interest amount for period 1 by multiplying the balance in period 0. Cell F19 times interest rate, cell C13, divided by 12. Boom. Here though, when you don't want something in your function to change, you add a money sign. Now the C13 won't change. Now, you can drag the bad boy all the way down and it'll calculate. Should be 0. Copy the interest amount calculation down to complete the interest column. Did that. Calculate in cell E20. Principal amount for period 1. The principal amount is the difference between the payment amount equals C20 and the interest amount minus D20 equals. Now calculate this bad boy all the way down. Easy. Next, calculate in cell F20 the balance for period 1. Okay? The balance is the difference between F19 and the principal amount for period 1, E20, equals. And now we can drag this all the way down. That makes sense, right? Balance should be going down to 0. Principal amount should be increasing. The more you pay off a loan, the more you're just paying off principal. And interest amount should be decreasing. By the time you get to your last month, the car loan company's like, you already paid all your interest. Here's $2 of interest that you have to pay. Thanks, guys. 7. Copy the balance amount calculation down. Did that. Calculate in cell G12, this one, the amount paid by multiplying the payment amount, C15, by the term of the loan cell, C12, and that gives us 21 grand. Calculate the interest paid in G13, this one. It's the sum of all the interest in the interest column. We want all this interest, so we go here, use the SUM function, sum, just gives you all the numbers, adds them all up for you so you don't have to do it yourself. And then click and drag all the interest. Then scroll up, make sure it looks right, and then add a parentheses. So boom, shebang, $2,600. Check to see if the total interest calculation is correct. Okay. In order to do this, interest paid is also equal to the difference between total amount paid, G12, minus, because it said difference, the original loan amount. Oh, but you see this is negative. So if we do a minus, it's going to give us some wacky number. Look, it'll give us a wacky number. 40 grand? No. These two numbers should be the same. So 40 grand is not right. Since the loan amount is negative, just add a plus sign. Boom. Buy new in period 36. What does that mean? Assume you've made the first 36 payments, you want to trade in a car, you believe that you can sell it for 4 grand. We'll just cover the balance in period 36. Okay, so is the balance in period 36 less than 4 grand? No, it's not. So don't trade in the car. Contacts for 4J's painting tasks. Use the HLOOKUP function to complete the hourly wage column of table 1 equals HLOOKUP. Lookup value is going to be employee, Jim. Good old Jim. The table array is going to be the employee wage information, all this stuff right here. And what do we want to make sure? We want to make sure that we have money signs in it. We don't want it to change. We want it to stay right where it is. Row index number. Which row in the employee wage information are we going to be gathering our information from? Hourly wage. So that's going to be row 2. And then false. We want an exact match, okay? Give us the exact number. That should give us 52. Is Jim's hourly wage 52? Yes, that must be correct. Let's drag it on down, see if it works. Does it work? It does work. Everything is correct. On to the next one. Time bonus. Use the AND function to complete the time bonus column of table 1. We're going to use this column, and this column. Hours works and estimated hours. Okay, and maybe even quality. We'll see. And what exactly do we want to find? An employee earns a time bonus if the project's hours worked, this number, are fewer, this thing, than the estimated hours, this number here. And if the quality of the work, covered by my function, but it is H16, we'll type it in. You don't have to move, that's fine. And if H16 is greater than 1, close parentheses, false. Sorry, no time bonus for you. Bring it on down. Some people got some time bonuses. On to outcome bonus. Use the OR function. Okay, wait, hold on. We get to see which thing we're going to use. Okay, we're going to use difficulty and quality for the outcome bonus. Equals OR function. If an employee earns an outcome bonus, if the difficulty of a job, right here, this number, is greater than 3. Or if the quality is greater than or equal to 3. Close parentheses. Do you get an outcome bonus? You sure do. Okay, too far. And there we go. And there we go. Time bonus. On to the next one, time bonus. Okay, an employee earns a time bonus if the corresponding small of the time bonus is true. Okay, so equals if time bonus column is equal to true, then he gets the job pay times the bonus percentage in M11. This is M11. But we want to make sure that M11 doesn't change, so what do we add? That's right, we add a money sign. And the value of false is just 0. I just spit all over the camera, sorry. And then we enter that in. Time bonus, nothing, not a ting. Some people got time bonuses. On to the next, outcome bonus. Use the if function. Okay, wait, I forgot to look. Now we're doing the outcome bonus. Use the if function to complete the outcome bonus column. Equals if. If the employee earns an outcome bonus, so if the outcome bonus equals true, then it is equal to job pay times bonus percentage in cell M12. Remember, we don't want M12 to change. M12 to change. Add a money sign. And otherwise, it's 0. Close parentheses. Drag it down. On to the next one. That would be, this is a tough one because it's kind of long and you have to use multiple functions. So it's going to be, it is tough, I swear. Use the if function. Equals if. Display good job if both, you're going to have to use and because it says both. If both hours worked are less than or equal to estimated hours, and the assessed quality right here is greater than 1. So if both those things are true, if both those things are true, then you just want to write good job. Way to go, hombre. And then the value of false, we're just going to add another if function because we have two more things to add. Too much time and poor quality. So if the hours worked on a project, if the hours worked exceed the estimated hours, we're going to put up too much time. Okay? And then if false, we just write poor quality. Oh. With an uppercase. And then we close this bad boy off. Does it work? Yes, it works. Drag it on down. Does it work again? It still works. On to the next one. Use the VLOOKUP function to complete the employee column of table 2. Okay. Let's see how we, let's see, VLOOKUP. What's it say we need? Lookup value. Okay, job ID. Table array. We want everything from job ID to employee. Bring it on down. Simple and easy. And we don't want that to change. So you know what you do. Add the money sign. Column index number, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Third column over. That's the one we want. And then drag it down. Double check. Is job 12 Jennifer? Job 12 Jennifer. Is job 11 Jake? Yes, it is. Difficulty. Use the VLOOKUP function to determine the difficulty. Okay. Equals VLOOKUP. Lookup value, job ID. Table array is going to be everything from job ID to difficulty. All the way over. And we don't want that to change. And then the column is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sixth column. And there we go. Use the SUMIF function to complete the total hours in column in table 3 equals SUMIF. The range will be here. The employee names is the range. The criteria is the employee name. And the sum range will be the hours worked. Don't even bring them to me if they're not clean. Let me drag this bad boy down. Total pay. I keep saying bad boy. Sorry. Use the SUMIF function to calculate the total pay. SUMIF. The range is the employee names. Correct. The criteria, the employee names. The sum range is all this stuff. Total pay. Close parentheses, and then add the money signs. And there we go. Drag this bad boy down. Okay, on to the next. Use the COUNTIF function to complete the number of touch-ups. Equals COUNTIF. The range is going to be number of touch-ups. Difficulty. That's our range. And the criteria is right there. The difficulty. Close parentheses. Make sure this bad boy doesn't move. Enter. Number of touch-ups 1. Drag it through. You're done. Use the SUMIF function to complete the cost touch-ups column in table 4. SUMIF function. Cost of touch-ups. Difficulty is the range. Criteria is the difficulty. And the sum range is the cost. Close. And add. What did I forget? AJ, you forgot to add the money signs. You guys are smarter than me. I'm just so impressed. 250. Drag it down. There we go. Someone messed up. $1,500, dang. Average hours per job. It's going to tell us to use the average if function. Okay, we're going to use this column, G and E, equals average if range. Appropriate field in table 1 as our range. Range is going to be difficulty. Makes sense, right? And then this is going to be our criteria. And then the hours worked. Okay. Looks good to me. Enter. 48 hours. Not bad. What did I not do? Didn't add these yet. If you don't add the money sign, the numbers move with each column and each row, and it makes it all funky. All right, that's it. Context for Google Tasks. Okay. Construct a column chart to examine the total annual revenue for Google from 2003 to 2010. That's it. C12 to J12. Okay. I'm going to right click, go to quick analysis, charts, just column. Boom. Click on column chart. And let's drag it over here. Give some space. What do we want to name it? We want to name it total Google revenue. Total Google revenue. What else? Years across the horizontal axis. Right click, select data, click over here, click edit, and we want the years, so we just highlight all the years. Click OK. And they don't want a legend, and that's that. That is completed. And then they want a linear trend line. So click on this, then go to design up here, add chart element, trend line, linear, you're done. Very simple. Very nice. Now construct a stacked column chart to compare the revenue totals using the quarterly revenue totals C8 through J11. Whereas C8 is here, J11 there. And we want a stacked column chart, okay? So quick analysis, charts. I don't see stacked column. We're going to go to more charts. And do we have a stacked column? It's right there. Boom. Okay. Format the chart with the title Google revenue by quarter. Google revenue by quarter. Quarter. Google revenue by the quarter. And then they want a legend that depicts. What's our legend to pick? Each quarter using the text. Okay, first they want the years, the horizontal axis. So select data. We're going to edit. And then put in our years. Okay. Do not include the total annual revenue. Okay, fine. And they want a legend that depicts each of the things. Okay, cool. So just edit that one, and that one's going to be quarter 1. Okay, cool. Then edit this one, and that one's going to be quarter 2. And then edit this one, and that one's going to be quarter 3. And then edit the final one, and that's going to be quarter 4. Okay. That looks very good to me. Okay, construct a pie chart to compare the business segments for 2010. J16 through J18. J16, J18, pie chart. Quick analysis. Charts. Pie. And what's the title? The title is going to be Google revenue by business segment. And the legend that depicts each chart. Okay. I will get this. A legend that depicts each business segment. Google what? Okay. So edit, and then we want these three. Does it work? It works. Oh, sick. It's so sick. And now we want percentages. Okay. Add chart element. We want data labels. It's literally called data labels. Where do we want it? We can choose. Let's go inside end. Seems like a good spot. Now, but we do want this to be percentages. That's what they said. So, how do I change that? Oh, here we go. I don't know what leader lines are or value is, but I know I want a percentage. Boom. Is it finished? I think it's finished. That was fairly easy. Let's drag it over here because I know we're going to need one more. Finally, construct a line chart to examine C19 through J19. C19 through J19. Quick analysis. Charts. Line chart. Chart title. Google revenue line. Google revenue line. Format the chart with the title across. In the years, across the horizontal axis. Click, right click, select data, and you know what we want. We want these years right here. I'm riding blind right now. Shit. Just give me a second, okay? You guys are in the middle of my thing. Oh, damn it. There we go. Sorry. I didn't mean to curse. Select data. Edit. And we want the years. Okay? Cool. Okay. And then no legend. And that's it. And then they want a linear trend line. So click on this. Click on this. Click over here. Scroll down to this. And click on this. Shaboom shebang. You've created a worksheet spending to help you track your spending for the month of August. Use the len function in cell D10. Cell D10 equals L-E-N, len. And then let's just find out how much text is in there. 28, not bad. Use the search function at D11 to determine the position of the blank character. Okay, search. And we want to find text. Got to put it in the little quotation marks, otherwise it won't recognize it. I'm going to find that within that. Oh, it's at number 23. How interesting. And then we do the same thing for the money sign, okay? Equal, search. We want to find the money sign within that text. It's at number 9. Very neat. Use the left function in D13 equals left to return that. Okay. Left of the money sign. Number chars, money sign. Cool. And it says I spent money. All right. The next statement should be at merchant number. That's what should appear right here. So we're going to use the mid function. Mid. Text is this. Start number argument should be the money sign plus 1. Character minus this character. That should be at merchant number. Cool. Use the right function in D15. Equals right. Use this LD9. Number chars argument is the difference between the length, D10, and the location of the number sign character. Close parentheses. It should say on, and then the 2 little dots. Nice. Next. Use the month function in cell E18. Equals month. Serial number, this. Nice. And then we can just calculate that. all the way down. All right, what's next? The day function equals day. Serial number, this. Calculate this bad boy all the way down. What's next? The hour equals hour. Serial number, this. Calculate that bad boy all the way down. All right. What's next? Minute equals minute. Serial number, this. Calculate this bad boy all the way down. What's next? I bet you can guess. It is the second function. Equals second. Serial number, this. Calculate it all the way to the bottom of the table. Okay, now we get to do something different. Concat function equals concat. And we want to use the month followed by this character. We got to put it in parentheses, followed by the day. And that's how we want our stuff to look. So it'll say 8-1. When we populate it down, it should have all the days of the month. These should be 31. Yeah, very nice. Now we're going to do the transaction statement. Definitely the most difficult part, but we'll get it done. Concat. Just got to make it work. It'll tell you everything you need to do right up here. It should read, I spent 2406 at merchant number 4931 at 81. To make the statement come by statement P1, where's P1? P1, D13 with the D18, right there, D18, and statement P2 with the merchant number, and statement P3 with the date. And now that looks great, but what will happen if we do this? It gets all junked up. Why? Because we didn't put the money signs. Gotta put the money signs. D13, that needs a money sign. D14, that needs a money sign. And D15, that needs a money sign. Now, these three right here will not change. And that will allow everyone in the table to work out. Gorgeous. On to the next. I'm just gonna straight up show you. All right, this is all the right answers. This is it. This is what your table should look like. Okay? Fairly simple. To get the average, these averages, you just use the past events. Okay? See that? I'm just gonna go through each cell like this. Standard deviation, to get the standard deviation, use this standard deviation S, and then you use the past events. Simple. And then for these, use confidence.norm to get the confidence interval. Use confidence.norm. And when you use confidence.norm, if it's a 95% confidence interval, then you use 0.05 as your alpha. Okay? And then J7, which is standard deviation. And then I3, which is the number, okay? Confidence not known. For correlation with attendance, you just use the correl function. You do the correlation between the programs and the correlation between attendance. So you go down to past events, you do correlation for programs in attendance, then you do food in attendance, then merchandise in attendance. Okay? And that's how you do that. So those are those functions. That's what yours should look like. And then for the sales forecast, you use the actual forecast function. And calculate the forecasts. There you go. That's what the function should look like. And then for the upper limit of sales, you add your sales forecast And you had the sales forecast plus the 95% confidence interval. Sales forecast plus upper limit of sales, you add the sales forecast plus 95% confidence interval. Lower limit, you subtract the confidence interval from the sales forecast. That's what it looks like. Okay? Yeah, that seems about right. And then you go over to sales. Sales, you just incorporate these numbers straight from here. Okay? Cost of goods sold, you just take your sales and multiply it by the percentage in cost of goods sold. 90,000 times 40%, 185,000 times 60%, 340,000 times 70%. Gross profit, you just take the sales minus the cost of goods sold. So 90,000 minus 3654. Make sure to use the cells and don't just subtract. Salary expenses, you don't use that first. You start with commissions. Commission is just going to be your sales times the commission. Fixed costs, just going to be the fixed costs. You just use those again. And then total operating expenses will just be the sum of all these. So use the sum function and highlight all these, even though salary expenses isn't filled out yet. Profit before arena fee is going to be C17 minus C24. So subtract your total operating expenses from your gross profit, and that's what you have as your profit before arena fee. 74K minus 32K, 41K. 145 minus 45, 100. And then to get your number of employees, you want to use your roundup function because you can't have a partial employee, so you round up. So use the roundup function. And then you take your profit before arena fee and multiply it by employees percent of expected profit, and do that for each one. 83 times 0.20. Round it up. All right. And then there's your sales. Sales is just the sum of all these numbers right here. It's just the sum of these numbers. Gross profit is just the sum of these numbers. Total operating expenses is the sum of these numbers. Profit before arena fee is going to be the sum of these numbers. Arena fee is just going to be this number. And net profit will be profit before arena fee minus the arena fee, 71 grand. The what if analysis table is kind of funky. You highlight all these numbers, and then you click what if analysis, data table, and that's what you did. And then your row input cell should just be whatever it says it should be. Row input, column input, and then you put those in, and then it calculates all this for you. And then you answer this question: would the event be profitable with a $150,000 arena fee if 15,000 people were in attendance? No, it would not. Construct a pivot table. Okay, so you're just going to go down here, and like I did, you just create a new sheet. You create a new sheet by clicking that button, and then you rename it or whatever, and that's that. Okay? Delete the sheet, yes. And then if you want to create a pivot table, just go type in pivot table, and then it'll create a pivot table for you. And then you choose your range. See, it says AG to G103. So you go to the past events. What was it? A3 to G103. So go all the way down to G103. And then click OK. And then it says use the type field as the row label. So click and drag type to the row. And then it says That's it, I guess. Oh, and then it wants attendance. It wants the attendance. Calculate average attendance. So take attendance and put it down by values. See? That's how you make a pivot table. Same thing over here. See? You create a new page, and then you answer these questions. This is what the answer should be. Concert, 7 million, 51%, 19%, 625,000. And I answered those. I didn't even answer those. I think I answered them here. See? I just did my calculations like this, just on the table, because I wasn't going to bother figuring out how to use a pivot table. I still don't know how to use it. But as long as you know how to make it, you get some points for it. So just try and make it. See what I mean? So now it says construct a second pivot table in PT2. So imagine this wasn't here. We just type in pivot table. Give me one of those. Pivot table, and you want A3 through G103. Go to past events. A3, G103. Go all the way down. Okay, not too far. Click OK. Now you got a pivot table. Calculate the total merchandise sales. Type is a row label. So take type as a row label. Use type as a row label. And crowd size as a report filter. Crowd size filter. Calculate total merchandise sales with excellent crowd size. Merchandise sales. Then you click here and click excellent. Okay? And that'll you're just looking for the points. That's all you want. Same thing over here. Oh, and then you answer your question. And then you go to PT3. You create a PT3. You click on it, create one. And then you construct a pivot table. So just do the same thing. Pivot table. I don't know why I sound like I'm angry. It's because I am. This takes too long. Then you go to past events and you select the whole dang thing again. A3, type, all the way down. Okay? Click OK. To construct a pivot table, to determine what % of events with fair crowd size or sporting events. Okay? Use type as a row label. That's what it says. So you take type, move it down to row. Crowd size as a column label. Crowd size, column label. An appropriate presentation of event as the values. Something like that. Yeah. And then somehow figure out how to like show values as, if you can just give percentages, you know. Yeah. And then you can mess around with summarize, average, whatever. It doesn't really matter. As long as you get something there, you will get points for it. And that's all you're trying to do. And you do the same thing for PT4, same thing for PT5. And then for the bakery, it should say something like, or to calculate the optimal number of dozens of the product to make. Okay, so you go to data, solver. And you just, yeah, you change the constraints. You see what I did there? Dang. Just make them less than or equal to. So look, you click add a constraint. Dozens less than or equal to constraint is demand in dozens. Okay? And that's the constraint. And that's pretty much all I have. Solving doesn't even work. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're just trying to get close to 100. And this, everything here, all of these answers that you've seen so far, you saw the solver, you see the constraints, okay? These are all the constraints I have. Not this one. Delete this one. You don't want double. Okay? These are all the constraints in the solver. And then once you have all these, all the PTs, and you have the bakery, and you at least attempt, at the very least, attempt to try and figure out how to use the solver and add some constraints. Once you have all that, just go ahead and go over and click submit. It'll initialize. It'll take its time. This assignment will be submitted for me. Submit it anyways. Review report. And you'll get a nice little report to check out. Look at that. And you scroll all the way down, you've got a 91%. That's not bad.